Hey everybody, Dr. Greco here. Welcome to Ministry in a Minute. So do me a favor, like and share this short video, and also go ahead and follow the Crossroads School of Ministry. It'll really help us get the word out about how we're raising up and training church leaders and volunteers. So this week I want to talk about our testimonies or our witness. They're really the same thing to different people. A testimony is when we talk to other Christians about the goodness of God, and witnessing is when we talk to non-believers about the goodness of God. And in Acts chapter 2, Peter gives his sermon at Pentecost, and the last part of his sermon is so full of powerful examples for how we testify or we witness to people. And it begins in verse 29, and in verse 29 through the end of, or through verse 41, there's this interaction with Peter and the people he's talking to. And he says in verse 29, "Fellow Israelites, I can tell you confidently that the patriarch David died and was buried, and his tomb is here to this day." And he goes on to say a little more about David. And that reminds us of a very important principle about witnessing and testifying. And that is this. Tradition isn't going to save anybody. Now, we know that inherently, that it's all about Jesus. And yet I think sometimes when we talk to people about faith things, we want to talk about our church. And it's good to invite people to church. It's good to talk about doctrine. But none of those things matter to an unbeliever. What matters is why. Why should they bother getting involved in this relationship with God? And how cool our church is, or what we know as truth, those things aren't going to matter to them. What matters to them is who Jesus is. It's all got to be centered around Jesus. And Peter's point with David, because everyone in the crowd knew who David was that Jesus is bigger than tradition. He's bigger than the name on our church. He's bigger than anything else, and he's really all that matters. That's where we start. That's where Peter started. We'll see you tomorrow for another Ministry in a Minute.